Hey everyone, I am Jack Cai. I am a new Rubik's speedcubing ambassador, and I'm also a three-time world record holder in solving the Rubik's Cube blindfolded, which is my speciality. I got into cubing by a classmate who brought his cube to school and just solved it in class. And I think he did it in like 30 seconds or something, so I thought that was like really cool at the time, and I wanted to learn how to do it too. Um, so he told me that he learns from a YouTube tutorial, so I did the same thing. I don't remember exactly how long it took me to like solve it. Maybe like a couple of days or a week, but taking it like step by step. And yeah, eventually I got there in the end. And from then on, I was just like, cool, I can solve it like without any kind of external reference now. Now what? And the obvious next step was to try to do it faster. And I think that gradual process of just trying to get a bit faster and faster, and also looking into other types of puzzles, like the smaller 2x2 Rubik's Cube, or different methods of solving the cube, like using, for example, like one hand, or even blindfolded, which is of course what I particularly found myself being interested in. So that's the kind of rabbit hole I ended up going down. So in terms of my favorite events, I'm obviously particularly interested in blindfolded solving, particularly the standard, of course, just 3x3 blindfolded event. There are also other events for solving the Rubik's Cube blindfolded, such as solving the bigger cubes like the 4x4 and the 5x5 blindfolded. Those are a bit more, I guess, what do you call, brutal in that like there's less room for like error. I mean, there's more room for you to like mess up. And there's also an event where it's kind of insane. But like you pick a certain amount of cubes, let's say like 30, and you try to solve them, like you try to memorize them all in one go, and then you solve them all blindfolded in one go as well. I hold the national record for that, which is 29 cubes out of 30, and yeah, it looks pretty insane, especially if you look at some of the world-class people at the event. So that's one I hope to get better at, but in general, the blindfolded events. As for top speedkeeping tips, I mean, looking at it from a fairly general perspective, just a bunch of like practice, obviously, a bunch of patience. I think also making sure you're noticing like where your biggest, I guess, weak points are, and always constantly looking for like the bottleneck of improvement. That's something I think is really important too, on top of practice. In terms of maybe specific tips, since I'm a specialist in blindfolded solving, I might go through that. For blindfolded solving, I guess focusing on your ability to memorize the cube efficiently, as well as we call that memorization efficiently. Both of those are like really important, and they seem to be underestimated in pretty much all levels. I think some people put too much maybe emphasis on the methods, and perhaps the algorithms themselves, and not enough on the memorization aspect. And when you really look at it, even during the part where you're actually doing all the turns and all that at lightning fast speed, like a lot of that has to do with the fact that you're able to recall what you've memorized really quickly, and not just fancy algorithms and whatnot. So that would be my tip for both beginners, intermediate, not both, for all kind of levels, I'd say.